Picture this. You're walking to the kitchen for a glass of water in the middle of the night. You move slowly, hands out, but still manage to find the sharpest corner of the coffee table. As you're recovering, you see your cat glide through the same room with perfect grace, its eyes glowing. It's a good time to wonder, why can they do that, and we can't? After millions of years of evolution, why is our night vision so mediocre? The answer isn't that evolution failed us, it's that it made a trade, and the price was the night. To understand this trade, we have to go back to a time before humans, when dinosaurs ruled the world. Our earliest mammalian ancestors weren't the planet's dominant creatures. They were small, trying to stay off the menu, and often lived in the shadows of giants. Their survival frequently depended on avoiding the day and thriving in the night. To do this, they were armed with some serious nocturnal adaptations. Their eyes were packed with over 100 million light-sensitive cells called rods. Rods are incredible pieces of biological engineering, fantastically sensitive to low light. Science shows that under perfect conditions, they can be triggered by a single photon. Their main job was to paint a functional, if grayscale, picture of a world lit only by the moon and stars. Many nocturnal mammals have another trick up their sleeve, something you'll recognize from the glow of a cat's eyes in a photo: the tapetum lucidum. It's a reflective layer behind the retina that acts like a biological mirror. Any light that passed through the retina without hitting a cell got a second chance on the rebound. This dramatically boosts the ability to see in near total darkness. For many of our tiny, ancient relatives, the night wasn't scary. It was home. They were well adapted to the dark because they had to be. Then, the world changed. The dinosaurs vanished, and mammals started moving into the daylight. For one particular lineage, our primate ancestors, this meant a radical shift in strategy. They left the nightlife behind and became creatures of the day. Why the sudden change? A leading hypothesis points to a new, abundant food source up in the trees: fruit and young leaves. In the complex, three-dimensional world of a forest canopy, being able to spot a ripe piece of fruit from a distance is a massive advantage. The problem was, eyes optimized for night vision weren't very good at this. The vision of many early mammals was dichromatic, meaning they could see some colors, but they were effectively red-green colorblind. For them, spotting a red fruit against a background of green leaves would have been incredibly difficult. This evolutionary pressure became a turning point. A new kind of vision was needed. And so, a biological arms race began, not against another species, but inside the eye itself. The retina, the light-sensitive tissue at the back of our eye, has a finite amount of space. For millions of years, light-gathering rods had been prioritized. But now, the evolutionary math was changing. The benefits of seeing clearly in the day were starting to outweigh the benefits of seeing in the dark. This is when the ancestors of old-world monkeys and apes, our ancestors, acquired a genuine superpower. Through a bit of genetic luck involving gene duplication, a new, third type of cone cell emerged in their eyes. This unlocked full trichromatic color vision. It was like switching from an old tube television to a 4K screen. Suddenly, the world exploded with color. This wasn't just pretty, it was a critical survival tool. That flash of red in a sea of green was no longer just a shape, it was a high-energy meal. The subtle color differences between a ripe, nutritious fruit and an unripe one became obvious. This reliable new source of energy may have even helped fuel the development of larger, more complex brains. But the advantages might go beyond just finding food. High-resolution color vision allowed our ancestors to better spot camouflaged predators in the dappled forest light. And, perhaps most profoundly, it may have changed how they saw each other. Some research suggests that our advanced color vision allowed us to perceive subtle changes in skin tone, which can signal emotion, health, or fear. The ability to read these tiny social cues could have been an important element in developing the complex social structures that define primates, especially humans. We learned to see not just the world, but into the minds of others. This wasn't just vision, it was a new kind of social intelligence. This incredible new power came at a price. To make room for all the new cone cells needed for this high-definition color world, something had to give. The trade-off was clear. Better day vision came at the expense of night vision. In the center of our retina, a small pit called the fovea became packed almost exclusively with cone cells. This is what gives us our incredibly sharp central vision, the ability to read fine print or recognize a face from across the room. But this dense packing of cones means there's no room for rods there. While we still have tens of millions of rods, they were pushed to our peripheral vision, leaving the center of our gaze nearly blind in the dark. And what about that night vision mirror, the tapetum lucidum? For a species that now relied on crisp, detailed daytime vision, it became a liability. The light bouncing mechanism that works so well in the dark creates a blurry, unfocused image in the day. Blur was the enemy. And so, through natural selection, it vanished from our lineage. The genetic instructions for building it were lost over time, because a clearer daytime image was now more important for survival. Today, humans and most other primates active during the day completely lack this structure. The glowing eyes of the night were a necessary sacrifice for the clarity of the day. So, the next time you're stumbling in the dark, remember that your poor night vision isn't a flaw, it's a feature. It's a genetic signature of a pivotal choice made in our evolutionary past. We didn't lose night vision so much as we traded it for something our ancestors found more valuable. We traded the grayscale world of the night for the vibrant, high-definition world of the day. Now, this wasn't an absolute switch. Humans still have functional low-light vision, but it's poor compared to nocturnal specialists. We gave up being masters of the moonless forest for the ability to tell a ripe fruit from an unripe one, a friendly face from a foe. This single trade-off may have had cascading effects. Processing this fire hose of new visual data, color, detail, social cues, is a heavy computational task. It's plausible that this put new selective pressures on our brains, contributing to the very cognitive expansion that defines our species. Our world is built on art, language, and technology, all concepts deeply tied to our advanced visual perception. Humans didn't stop developing night vision because evolution got it wrong. It's because evolution succeeded in a different direction. Natural selection favored a path that led us into the sun. We chose the world of color, of detail, of face-to-face social interaction. We chose a world where we could build, create, and connect in the bright light of day. And while that means we might occasionally bump into the coffee table, it's also the reason we can gaze up at the stars and wonder about our place in the universe. We sacrificed the night, but in doing so, we gained the world.